And welcome. Brilliant. Oh, thank you, actually, for that wonderful count-in. Hello, and welcome everyone to the first campaign, the first session. Oh god, it's going terribly wrong already.
Do over.
Yeah, end the stream. Let's start again. The first session of our new D&D Pathfinder campaign, Legend Rising. How's everyone doing?
Good. Excited to play.
Yeah, very good.
As you can tell, I've been practicing this intro. So hopefully...
And you've done such a good job of it.
Thank you very much.
Definitely didn't spend all time preparing the actual game and then realised last second, oh wait, I have to introduce.
Oh no, it's a typical DM thing. You spend all the time preparing the stuff that doesn't matter, and then like the first second of the campaign comes along and you're like, oh, I don't know what to say now. But hopefully we'll find things to say soon, because this is a game that we use our voice. And pretty much just our voice. So yes, if everyone is doing well, we shall get into some things. So first things first, we are playing our Pathfinder 2nd edition, changing it up a bit. How's everyone feeling about that? Excited?
Excited.
New system.
Yeah, new system. We're all
I
quite...
get to be an idiot again. Yay! As if I ever stop.
Yeah, no comment. So it's for anyone who does end up watching, bear with us. There is obviously rules to learn and much to do, but hopefully by the time we get to the end of the campaign, we'll have a half good idea of what we're doing. So, does anyone have anything they want to add? Or this is the first session of the new campaign. So we're playing on Foundry. We're not playing on Roll20 anymore as well. So that's another thing that could potentially go horrifically wrong. And yeah, just trying out new things. So, if everyone is ready to begin, we shall enter the world or the continent of Adena for the next stage in our adventure. Right. Ooh. Roll intro cutscene. No. Maybe later. Right, so just have to try and work out how Sirenscape works for music now.
That's another thing as well. Switched the game system, we switched the tabletop, we switched the sound.
Exactly. I might get rid of these voices for now. You're gone. So, welcome to Adena. If you could stand in thin air 1,000 yards above the city of Port Edrin, or float in lazy circles there above, like the thousands of seagulls which stalk the fishing trawlers of the Ashmali settlers day after day, hoping for a rogue catch, you would see a city in constant motion, bustling with life and energy, with hundreds of crescent-shaped, wavy roads which divert from each other like how capillaries divert from arteries. And like all capillaries and arteries, they all lead to the heart of the city, the busiest place to be today, as the traffic of people bustling and pushing against each other has created a huge jam in the central plaza, where a spur of excitement seeps through the crowd to see today's execution platform being constructed.
Ooh.
Merchants sell food from atop their painted wheeled carts, as wealthy onlookers sneer at the unwashed crowd below from the central plaza's upper floor balconies. Their colourful parasols and elaborate fashion sense separates them from the crowd below far more than the mere distance between them. And on the far side of the plaza, its high gates guarded by ordered rows of the golden-cloaked merchant guard, the red fort looms above, from which its walls hang cages of executed prisoners, at least 12 today. As you can tell, this is very cheerful music for the for the topic. Their bodies dangling from extended supports made from ship's masts, twisted and contorted, their skin flayed with visages of terror on each of their rotting faces. But the crowd seem unfussed. In fact, this is part of the day-to-day life of this city. Some rumours, whispered among the crowd from parents to curious but frightened children, say that the fort got its red tint from the spray of blood from its weekly executions. And some among the onlookers laugh at such obviously ridiculous takes, for the fort is made of clay after all. But keep quiet so that the children remain shaking in fear, so that they grow up to be good, so that they are not strung up there too, for not paying their debts, or for stealing, or for a whole manner more crimes in which more civilized lands would require lesser punishments. But not here, not in the land of Adana. But this story is not about the tortured people of the Central Plaza, the tens of thousands of indentured servants and hundreds of wealthy merchants who have made a new life for themselves in this city of sin, this world of parallels, with its starving and poor, and those who have gorged themselves on the finest meats and wine a mortal could ever hope to taste in 1,000 lifetimes. It is instead about a group of people, today nobodies, their backgrounds yet unknown, their future as of yet undecided. But their destiny is one of legend, of heroism, of growth, of nurture, one of a legend, rising to take the place of the heroes of myth. So, as the gulls come to rest for the evening, nesting among the thatched roofs of the city of Port Edren, a single bell rings out in the central plaza. The crowd, who as of yet have not had a moment of rest in the 6 hours they have spent gathered there on their feet, jeer as the execution platform is finished, and 16 prisoners, shackled together, shuffle onto the extended platform, where 16 nooses lie awaiting their victims. Rotten fruit, fish, and vegetables are thrown from the crowd and land pitifully short of the platform, which was raised high into the air so that nobody missed the view. A hooded man, draped in a black cloak and a large gleaming dagger on his hip, rises casually up the steps to the platform's left, and the crowd falls silent. He takes his place by the lever, and the curtains are closed shut. "That's enough of that, poor fools," an elderly woman says, the clerk at the recruitment office, in which you're all waiting, with a hooked nose and dark, weathered complexion from years of harsh Adana summers. "Hey," a voice from the far side of the room says. "I was watching that." A young lad, no older than 18, with salt-stained clothes from the long journey across the seas, sits confidently in his chair, trying to peer through the cracks in the fabric. "You'll see enough of them," the old lady replies. "But not here. Hartford, is it?" "Yeah," the boy replies. "Of House Hartford in Canault. I'm sure you've heard of it." "There ain't no great houses here, lad," the woman says. "Only merchants and money. Don Iden will see you now." The boy stands and brushes off his jacket. "Well, good thing I have the money then," he says, and walks down the hall to the office on the right-hand side. You hear the old woman as the boy walks away. You're all sat in this quite neatly adorned recruitment hall in the sort of just by the main plaza of Port Edren. She says under her breath, "Nobody ever has enough money here," before she looks up and sees you all. She sighs. "Right, well, there's clearly been some sort of mistake with the paperwork. Can I get all of your names and which guild you'd like to join in order of preference? I'll get someone to get back to you on how much debt each of you has so far accrued." So she turns to all of you. Would you like to introduce your characters as you sit there?
Yeah, I can start. So my character is Henning Dyer. He comes from words. Can't remember the name of the.
It's fine. Just describe how you look for now.
Okay. He is sort of average height, sort of a slightly skinnier build, but not overly skinny. Black sort of swept back hair. Quite pale. And you may notice there's something wrong with his eyes.
Okay, fantastic. And so when you get up and go to the desk, she hands you a sheet that requires you to write down your name and your information. You notice on the sheet it also asks for where you're staying. But she says to you, we have places you can stay if you are currently in between areas.
Yes, please. I will definitely need that. I have nowhere to stay currently.
Very well. Right, who's next?
I'll go next. Sitting before you is a rather smug-looking tiefling under kind of a number of kind of garments, kind of almost disguising his identity slightly, but also looks like it kind of came straight out of the desert. It's not designed necessarily for this type of climate, but nonetheless, he seems quite content. He's kind of tapping his hands crossed, tapping a little bit impatiently. His fingers tapping, adorned with various kind of signet rings and kind of jewelry. And to his side is a kind of weapon sheathed by a kind of pile of clothes on him. He stands up and he goes over. You want my name?
Yes.
Kaskis Povrev.
Kaskis.
And see to it that this does not take too long. Yes, I'm quite busy.
She sort of laughs up at you and says, "You'll be seen when you're seen." The choices on the list, you will notice, are the choice of 6 guilds. The Dockworkers Guild, the Gemcrafters Guild, the Adventurers Guild, the Miners Guild, the Rangers Guild, and the Stewards Guild. She says to you as you're sort of looking down at the list, she says, "Do you need any help with that? Deciding what guild you want to join?"
No. It is quite clear to me. Myself and this one just kind of taps his finger over the shoulder. Will be joining the Adventurers Guild, please.
Will we?
Very well.
Not you, whoever you are.
Hello.
All right. Do you want to introduce yourself, your character?
Yes. So see now, kind of just like jumping up after being pointed at, a very large human, about middle-aged, blonde hair, kind of around the sides, balding on top. Wearing, he's quite muscular, like little bit of like fat, little bit of fat, but nothing extreme. He's kind of wearing like leathers, but no shoes, and 2 very large hammers, one bigger than the other. And yeah, he just kind of springs up. It's like, Keskis, which one we pick?
Do not worry, I've chosen for us. You know what we're going. We are going to be adventurers. Yes.
Ah, thank you. Very, very slow with pen. Very helpful. Always helpful.
The old lady behind the counter says, "Is this one, pointing, like nodding towards Hugo?"
Yes, you are interested in my distinguished employee.
Employee. She writes it down. Very well.
Name is Ugovin Volkov. But can just call Ugo.
Very well, Hugo. Have a sit down. Have you two got somewhere to stay?
Of course we have somewhere to stay, but if you are certain to know a place near here that we can leave our supplies and our various very burgeoning possessions, it would be most agreeable.
If you come find me on the way out, I can give you a list.
Very good. Now, hurry up. He sits back down.
She sort of laughs to herself and goes back down to her work. She looks up at the next person along the list. Joanne, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes, I am an elf called Hanera. I've got a red dress on with bell sleeves and a black sort of grey cloak, which is like a double cloak. So it's like half a cloak and then another cloak underneath. She's 5'8" and she's got ginger hair and elf ears.
She when she looks up at you and says, "An elf here? Not welcome at home?"
I'm welcome at home.
Usually elves don't come to this part unless they're running from something.
I'm just here to join the Adventurers Guild.
Very well. She writes down on the list. Take a seat, please.
Okay.
Then, lastly, in the corner, Zach, would you like to introduce your character?
Okay. Probably only just looking up, realizing that the entire line has now disappeared. Is a kind of medium build, medium height, just kind of sort of unremarkable looking elven gentleman with just kind of long black hair that's kind of not black, brown, that's kind of swept backwards, not so much in like an actual neat hairstyle as much as trying to gather as much as he can into one place so as to have it not go everywhere. He has these bright blue eyes, and has been painting this kind of floral pattern on his left hand, as we've been kind of just waiting. He just kind of looks up and kind of hastily heads over and is like, "Hi, yes, Vanille, I prefer Cyan. That's what my friends call me. Yes, are we friends?
Finale it is.
Okay.
She writes down. And what are you? Are you joining? Which guild are you joining?
Oh, I want to be an adventurer. Yes.
She looks up at you. And looks back down at the list again. She says, "So you've all chosen the Adventuring Guild. I must say that's a coincidence. You must be new. Well, good luck. I'll just go run this by Don Iden. Wait here and entertain yourselves for a moment." She gets up and hurries down the hall. Looking around, you notice that the hall is empty now, except for you lot. A few minutes pass, and she doesn't come back out again. And you can hear the sounds of, through the glass windows, that are mostly muffled, but you can hear the sounds of the crowd jeering and cheering as the events of the execution outside are beginning to wrap themselves up.
Guskus jumps up the chair and starts pacing. This is ridiculous. It is just a simple endeavor to put us on a list. Why does it have to be so complex?
What if list is very long?
No matter how long the list is, Ugo, it is a list. You hand it to somebody and the job is done.
Is it Ugo's fault? Ugo gave whole name.
Nah. Not of you. And say, you people. He kind of nods to everyone else. You okay with this as well?
No, I'm growing quite impatient waiting.
I mean,
So unprofessional.
the longer I wait, the more I can paint.
Paint any time, don't need to wait.
What is hurry?
Exactly. We can take in the relatively fresh, blood-filled air.
Suppose.
And what about you? He kind of points at the elf Panera.
I don't mind waiting. It's not going to take that long, surely.
I love your dress.
Oh, thanks.
After a couple of moments... Oh, yeah, go on.
Reminds me of wolf pelt, but inside out.
Yay.
It's very nice.
Why would you wear a wolf pelt inside out? That's not where the fur is.
I don't know, but it reminds me of that. You turn it inside out when you skin it, and blood then is on outside, and is red.
Oh. Well, I would wear a wolf pelt inside out because then you get the fur next to your skin.
I don't. That's a weird. This is weird. Okay.
After a couple of moments, the old woman returns and says, well, this is embarrassing, but Don Iden doesn't usually take new recruits today. I'm not sure what's gone wrong with our filing systems, but it's been getting on my nerves all day. However, he has decided to take a look at you all while you're here personally. So maybe we can skip the one-to-one interviews and just pack you all into his office to make it quicker, so we can all go home.
That would be
How small
most
is
desirable.
How small is the office?
She laughs. Let's just say the Adventuring Guild's not very popular.
Okay, I don't like cramped spaces.
Right, come on then. She corrals you
Okay.
down one of the hallways. One by one, together, she guides you down the hallway, past rows of oil paintings and tapestries, which represent places in far-off lands. There's sort of silhouettes of cityscapes and broad brush strokes of lush fields that surround you as you pass through the corridor until you get to the end of the row. As a large oak office door stands in front of you. The old lady knocks, and a muffled voice from inside says, "Come in." She opens up the door. And as you enter, you see a man in his mid-40s, a human man, staring out the window at the Central Plaza's courtyard below. The execution has finished, and the crowd is beginning to disperse for the night. He mumbles under his breath, "They waited 6 hours for that, and it was over in 30 seconds. You see that he's wearing simple clothes, a flowing but practical jacket made from cloth rather than silk, very unlike most of the merchant dons you've seen on the way here, with a brown sash around his waist. Unlike the other merchant dons you've seen, he doesn't wear a cap, and instead elects to let his long curly brown hair flow freely down past his shoulders. And he turns to nod at you all as you enter, and you see a sharply featured face with dark stubble left to grow a bit too long from lack of sleep, and sort of dark bags under his eyes as well. He says, "It always shocks me. So much violence in this city." He points down to the crowd below, and they cheer for it.
What is it that these men do?
Ugo, you cannot introduce yourself like that. He says it like really quietly to him.
Oh, sorry. Should I know?
Hello, my name is Keskis Povrev, and he does a really deep bow to Don Iden. Can I make an impression?
Yeah,
So I need to do a diplomacy check, right?
that is a diplomacy check.
How do I do?
First roll of the
things in
campaign.
this?
Make it a good one.
That means there's no token in the scene. Oh, that's initiative. That's why. How do I make a roll in this? I haven't actually had to do one yet.
So you are going to want to go to
Proficiency?
yeah. So so you want to go to character.
Efficiency.
Proficiencies, which
That's
is the
the
hand.
hand, yeah.
It's the hand.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, there it is. Nice.
Oh yeah.
First roll of the campaign. Let's see how it goes.
Make it a good one.
It's not pursue lead. Oh, cool! It comes up on the screen. That's very fun. That's a 15, and it's against the will DC of a target, modified by any circumstances you see fit.
15.
Mm-hmm.
He turns to you and he looks you up and down. He says, "Well, it's nice to meet you, Cascus. I'm Don Iden Vaganza. I take it you've all arrived for the Adventuring Guild."
Yes, I am Cyan, and Cyan's gonna try and do the exact same bow that Cascus did, but probably a little, like, a little off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ugo would be just copying what Cascus has done as well.
Are we all just doing what Cascus does?
He sort of Don Iden sits down behind his desk. You notice it's neat. His chair is austere and cheap. The desk itself seems to be made from planks that were clearly scavenged from an old ship's hull and varnished by an amateur, perhaps even himself. And you notice that there's only quills and a small pile of paper on the surface. And all around the room are bookshelves piled high with old books. Clearly transported here at great cost, but there's no flights of fancy, there's no portraits of himself or family members, no exotic animal pelts or taxidermies or anything. There's only an office for a man who clearly finds no time for anything but his work. He says, "It is good to meet you all." And he starts flicking through the sort of sign-in sheets that you signed in for. As he's sort of reading through them, he mumbles under his breath, "I am the person responsible for the Port Edren branch of the Adventuring Guild. I report directly to Merchant Prince Kutaban, and if you are successful, you will all report to me. So, I'm interested why you decided to put yourself forward for the life of an adventurer. You do realize we're in a time of peace right now, right? Your opportunities for adventures are limited and can be very dangerous."
Cascus says that he can make lots of money.
That is correct, but only within the correct channels of what is proper in Port Edrin. Yes, we do not see any, how do I say, illegal ventures. Not here, not here. We are strictly above board, yes?
Not here. Do you do it in other places?
Don Iden. It is with great respect that we just seek to make a bit of money and support the burgeoning economic viability of this great city.
He looks up at you and you see on his face he doesn't seem impressed. He doesn't seem upset or anything particularly. He seems quite sort of blank and stoic. He sort of says, "Well, luckily I am in need of some new recruits. My last group didn't fare so well."
Perfect.
What happened to them?
He points out the window to the execution platform below.
Well, hopefully we don't end up there.
Well, you know what? You want money. I'm in need for people. If you're willing to take an oath of loyalty now, I can tell you what your responsibilities will be. You must not tell anyone about the tasks I am to give you, on pain of death. Do you agree?
What does an oath of loyalty mean? Yes? Do you have it in writing?
You can take it however you like.
I thought oaths were usually oral. I'm pretty sure if it's written down, then it's a contract.
Do not laugh at me.
Oh, it's not... You will be signing a contract.
See?
Oh, okay.
But you will also be taking an oath of loyalty to me. Personally.
Okay. Can we hear the oath before we say it?
Well, we would have to hear it before we say it. Otherwise we don't know what we're going to say.
You're charming.
I often
I
say
like
many
you.
things that I have not heard first, or even thought in my head.
That's not. Whatever. Just carry on.
I like him. He's cool.
Well, the oath is very simple. It is I, my name, vow to be personally loyal.
Slow
Don Iden
down.
It doesn't really
Aye.
matter exactly. It doesn't really matter exactly how it's said. It's basically if you're saying it to me, we have a bond.
Okay. So this doesn't mean I'm giving you my immortal soul or anything, right?
No. He just
Oh,
like
okay.
laughs and just. He looks at you and says, Now, what are two elves coming here joining the Adventuring Guild for? I'm very interested to hear both of your stories. Are you together?
No.
No.
I come from all over. I just wanted to do something nice, make a nice name for myself doing something nice. Yes.
I just fancied joining the Adventuring Guild.
Well,
Is
There
that
are-
bad? Elves not allowed in? I'm sorry if we're not. Didn't
no,
mean to upset you.
elves are welcome here. Just, they very rarely come. But there are easier and far less risky jobs in this city. I have to warn you. But if I am to promise anything, the life of an adventurer is one of constant change and challenge.
Sounds
So-
exciting.
And in return, I will pay you 50 gold pieces a month.
Keskis, how many copper is this?
It's not many, not many. I will sort out all the money when we get back. You do not worry about this. You just give Keskis your money, and I will sort it out as I always do.
I was about to suggest same thing. Money go to
Yes,
you,
yes,
you give me. Okay.
But do not tell these other people about this, yes? Otherwise, they will want the copper as well, and we can't all be having the copper.
Well, just makes like a zip.
Yes.
Motion.
Good, Ugo. So,
How does that sound?
before I say this oath, which I am happy to do, it is more than within my gift to give. I would like to see this contract.
Very well. It's a standard adventure, I don't know, merchant company guild contract. He pulls out this sort of rather big, like 6 or 7 page document from under his desk, and says, "If I had my way, these would be a lot simpler, but it's how things are done here." He hands it over to you. It's in quite obtuse language, really. It sort of says things like, the Adeno Merchant Company reserves the right to not pay you at any time, and blah, 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 all this stuff. in case of emergencies, and in case of insolvencies.
Yeah.
And any lawsuits that are taken out on the Adeno Merchant Company must go through the Adeno Merchant Company Justice Guild.
So what's the contract? Let's have a look.
It is wonderful. He can't help but put a face of like
Let me read that as well.
yeah. Take this one. I'm reading this one.
Seems pretty standard stuff. That'll be fine.
Hugo just like picks up one of like the middle sheets, just like reading it. Yes, all looks good.
Give that here, you giant. It snatches it from him. I am reading that page. Yes, Ugo and myself will sign this contract. Won't we, Ugo? You have to give some kind of indication you are okay with it. Otherwise, it is not legal.
Okay.
He says, this city is dangerous, but I'm feeling friendly. If you're loyal to me, I will make you all rich. If you betray me, I will kill you.
Well, that seems perfectly fair.
How would we betray you? That doesn't seem. You're our employer. We don't. That just would seem counterintuitive.
The Adeno Merchant Company is your employer.
But
Aye.
this would be oath to you.
Exactly. He smiles. He says, "There's a lot of people in this city with plans. You will learn that very soon. Take a couple of days to think it over. as I'm feeling generous, you can have a couple of nights free. If you wish to stay at the Tavern, which is an inn down the road. You should have a room each.
Excellent. And I have brought me and Ugo have brought a couple of very valued and trusted members of staff with us. Can they be afforded the same luxury as well? It is totally okay if that isn't the case. At Casky's Porphyry Enterprises, we do not mind living it rough, if you know what I mean.
Are they human?
Well, they are like a form of humanoid, kind of.
What race are they?
They are kobolds.
They should have a kennel or something outside the back.
I totally agree with you, Don Iden. A very wise choice. I am glad that we see eye to eye on many things already.
He looks down and looks at a sort of pocket watch that he takes out of his pocket. It sort of ticks quite audibly. Like he says, "You have a couple of days to think about it, but remember, the law is that you have to join a guild in the city. So, I would recommend coming here. Let's say come back in 2 days. If you feel like signing the contract, then we will talk about your next assignment, or your first assignment, I should say."
But it's also
Shall
our
do.
next assignment.
Exactly. Here's a copy of your contracts. Give them a read. I recommend hiring a lawyer. Yada yada.
We don't need one of those.
And if you show this contract to someone at the Tavern, they'll give you a room. The instructions are on the back of the contract to how to get there.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
It has been a pleasure.
Okay, cool. So, can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the central plaza where the execution was. And then this is the building you were just at, which is this large guild building just in the central plaza right by the Red Fort.
Yeah.
So you're coming out around the back here and going down the glass fair. And then here is where the Tavern is. So it's only a couple of minutes walk. But as you pass through the sort of, this is like where the main marketplace is as well. Like you notice, you see going around. Right, hang on. Let me just change the music a little bit. Yeah, so walking out in the main marketplace, you see it's bustling. There's plenty of activity around, a whole number of carts and horses and donkeys and merchants selling wares out the back of carts, shouting at each other, saying things like, "Where is it? Where's my money?" And the other person's like, "I haven't got it yet. Fuck off." The whole crowd seems to be sort of dispersing from the main plaza, and a lot of people have come to, get a bite to eat here. But after a couple of moments, you sort of are stood outside the Tavern. It's a fairly nice inn. It's in the nice part of town, so it's not horrific. The front of it is this sort of like old. It looks like an old Tudor building with like a sort of white facade with black timber frames. But you notice that it's actually sort of fake. Like they've painted over the wood. Like a lot of the buildings around here were originally built from the ships coming into the docks that were dismantled and built into buildings, and some of them have remained. And right at the top of the Tavern, where the roof sort of connects to the main facade, there's this sort of like large ship's front, sort of poking out the front with the big what's that thing on the ship called? I can't remember what it's called.
Mast.
Not the mast. It's at the front of the ship.
Figurehead.
Figurehead. Yeah, there's like a big figurehead on the front with it's sort of like of a mermaid. And from basically the mermaid, there's like a sign hanging down that says the Tavern. That's the one. But yeah, what would you like to do?
Hey, Ugo, can you see Snaggins Norton?
Ugo will look around and see if he can see them.
Make a perception check for me.
Wait, where is it? It's not on the core skills.
No, it will be on the main thing on the left. Because perception is like a multi thing. So like if you go to the main character, well, yeah. Here you go. You got it.
12.
Okay, so having a look around, it's quite busy. But your head, you stand a good foot taller than the average person around here. And you see a sort of bustling by the far corner of the marketplace, where a couple of people are stood around, sort of like watching something occur. And pushing your way through. Pushing your way through, you see a couple of merchants saying to the two kobolds, "What are you doing here? You can't be here." And they're saying, "Yes, we can. Oh, it's a free city." And they're like, "Where's your guild badge?" And they're like, guild badge?
Can we bustle over to them?
Yeah.
Cascus moves between the kobolds and the members of staff. Please, they are with me. Yes, I am. They are my employees. And I am sorry for any disturbance they have caused.
Right. Well, where's your guild badge?
It is here. It is a contract. You see? And you must understand that I have just arrived from the city. My legs weary. My friend here. See how big he is. 2 hours ago, he was throwing up over the side of a boat. We just are here to drop off our supplies.
They look at you, and then they look up at Ugo, and then they sort of look at each other, and they're like, "Very well." They sort of turn around and back off.
Immediately, Cascus turns on the kobolds. What are you doing? You bottom feeders! We are supposed to be laying low, blending in. We don't know what the merchant guild is finding us here. You know what my brother will do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cascus. Please, I will work double time next week.
You will, and without pay if you're not careful, but you will get your shinies, do not worry. Now, we are going to this inn. Keep up. Carry the boxes with you.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. They sort of like begin dragging the boxes behind.
Cascus, you're sure I should not? You sure I should not carry?
Yes, you carry as well. Chop,
Okay.
come on.
It just like grabs the boxes that the kobolds are carrying, like lifts them up like as he grabs them.
They're just like hanging on to the boxes. They don't want to let go lest they be penalised for not doing their job. The rest of you, seeing this sort of thing happen, see Cascus and Ugo enter the front entrance of the Tavern. Do you follow?
I wanted
Yeah.
to actually go and have a look at the docks at some point. But we can always
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
It's coming into the evening now, so
Sort of
recommends
time
that
it
you...
would go.
Yeah, I recommend you get your room sorted, and then you can go for a walk in the sort of like when it comes to at night time.
So I'll follow them for now.
Okay, so you all go in, and you see the inn. Oh, just bear with. All right, here we are. A few people are sat around inside the inn. It's actually fairly spacious inside. It looks a lot smaller from the outside, but these crammed buildings tend to sort of have a lot of secrets. And going inside, most of the quite a lot of the places around here, most of the building is bare wooden floorboards. with big sort of lumber supports. People walking around, they're sort of enjoying themselves, drinking, shouting. There's a sort of a couple of bards in the corner playing some music. The innkeeper sort of looks at you all enter, looks at Ugo and Cascus sort of thumping down these boxes, and says, "Hey, you can't keep that there!"
You're talking to me, huh?
Oh, I guess.
Ugo just like
Well-
starts picking all the boxes up and just like holding them all over his shoulders and stuff.
No, Ugo, wait. It's just a simple misunderstanding here. You do, and you see, we have just come long over the ocean from far away, and we are in need of refuge in this time of great strife in my life.
You just get here then.
Yes, indeed we did. And only a short time, if you are okay with us just keeping our goods. We can store it in the room. That is why we're here, after all.
Can you pay?
Oh, we have one of these. And Cascus pulls out the contracts, and Ugo's as well.
Oh, I see. You're a friend of Don Vaganza's. Well, very well. There are... Yeah, we currently have 6 rooms available.
I do believe there are a few others who have been... They're kind of trailing us almost, but they are... there they are. It points to... yeah, this...
Well, this is where we're staying. It's not too bad, I suppose. Do. Yes, I've got this contract to stay here, courtesy of Adventurers Guild.
Mm. And you having... What, are you all you having rooms to yourselves?
Yes, of course. Having rooms to ourselves.
Very well.
We can do that.
Yes. Why
Oh.
do you want to sleep with us?
No, I was just I didn't know you could have a room to yourself. That's fancy.
Oh, you poor soul.
You never
Yes,
stepped foot in a city before? How do they live in
not
there?
for long.
Well, here's your keys. If you want any food, you're gonna have to pay for that, though.
Fine.
And drinks are free, with food.
Oh.
He says when he says drinks are free, Ugo's eyes just light up.
Oh,
With
good lord.
food. One drink per meal.
just like sees Ugo starts rewriting the policy.
Yeah, it's like he gets out the contract that you want to say. It's like, change.
Big old crayons, red. Free drink.
Forever.
What is cooking?
We've got a few things on. We've got mutton. Then spring mutton. A bit of pork. And then mutton.
No fish.
I mean, do you want fish? We've got a whole bunch of it, but that's usually what the dock workers eat.
I just assumed because you're by the sea, it would be fish all the way.
Yeah, but when you're by the sea and you eat fish all the time, you get sick of it after a while.
That's true.
Also, I assume you've all been at sea. Well, maybe not you, you two, pointing to the 2 elves. But if you've been at sea for a while, I didn't figure that you'd want fish. But if you want
I'm
fish,
rather sick of the sight of fish at this point. I wouldn't mind some mutton.
yeah, welcome to civilized land. You'll all do well, I'm sure. And if you don't, it's not my problem. He goes back into the back of the bar.
I'll have some of that spring mutton. That sounds nice. That sounds pleasant.
I'm sure you'll love it.
What is mutton? Sounds like clothes.
Sheep.
Like sheep, yes.
Old sheep.
Why are they not just called sheep?
Because
I
it makes
don't
people
know.
feel sad.
Yes, people don't like to think about that kind of thing. Well,
You
maybe
don't-
you do.
You don't call pork pigs or beef cows.
Called pig
Called
pork sometimes,
You call fish though.
if hungry enough.
And chicken.
That is a strange one.
And turkey,
That is weird.
and duck.
Okay, you've made your point.
And cabbage.
God damn.
As you sort of stood around, you see a couple of people enter the inn. A sort of older gentleman wearing. He seems like he might be a don, but of a sort of lower strata of the middle class. He's wearing a hat, like a nice feathered cap, and a sort of black, sort of, you can't quite tell what the material's made out of because it's quite a dark black, but it seems to have some like leather on it. And by his side he has a rapier, and he enters the inn with a couple of what seem to be bodyguards. You notice that he goes to the back, sort of to the back side of the room, and sits down by a table that's been prepared for them, and they begin to chat amongst themselves. The guy, sort of the main guy, he laughs and takes a look at you all, just like sort of locks eyes with a couple of you, and then just looks back down at his drink and continues.
He's laughing at us. Who does he think he is?
I don't. He might have just heard a really funny joke. Jokes can be funny.
He looks straight at us.
What is
Maybe
wrong
he
with...
was told a joke while he was looking at her.
I'll be careful looking at him. Someone at the bar says.
Why? Who is he?
That's Don Marine. He's dangerous.
Does
What's
anyone
gone off?
would
What'd you
Cassius
say?
know who that is? Sorry.
Tell me more. I want to know who he is.
Well, what doesn't he do? He's in. I mean, he's visiting from Inyana. He's a banker. That tells you everything you need to know.
Bankers are dangerous.
Yes, they are.
You give them your
Everyone
money and they stab you.
But without
Wait,
bankers in the world, we would not
you-
have
wait.
this. No.
You get stabbed every time you go to the bank?
Wait, you guys do know what a banker is, right?
They
Yes.
have-
They
Of
deal
course
with
we
money.
know what a banker is.
they take your money
Is
and
that...
then they stab you.
Is-
I've met several bankers on the way over here.
I thought bank... I think... No, bankery is when you go uphill and roll rock down bank.
Oh, good lord.
Yes, I used to love doing that.
Ugo, a minute, please. he like tries to push him right away from the party, but fails miserably.
After a second of realizing what he's trying to do, he will like... just move.
The guy at the bar, who was whispering to you, he sort of seems like an older gentleman. Maybe he's about like 50 or 60. He's got sort of graying hair. He seems like he's just like come from a day's work at the docks. He says, "You're clearly all newbies, huh?"
I'm new to this land, yes.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Bankers. And he sort of like says it quite loudly and then realizes how quickly he said, "Bankers, they work for the banking guild. They're not they don't work in banks. They are the sort of enforcers of the banking guild."
Ah.
Oh.
Well, that makes more sense why you were so afraid.
He's clearly come to collect on some debts, so just be careful.
Yeah.
What's it?
Oh, Cascus, we
No,
are bank...
shush.
Oh, shut.
What?
We are not bankers. We have never met a banker, and we certainly would not want to be associated with bankers.
But Cascus, this sounds very familiar.
Oh, maybe it does, but that's because we've been to many places, Ugo.
Is this
And
not?
these-
Is this not what?
Mm,
No, no,
no.
Why do you keep talking to him like he's a child?
Noticed that.
It is,
Is he your
we
son?
have, we have a long and complex history, me and Ugo. He is, he
Your
needs a
son.
bit of help sometimes.
He's simple, that's what you're trying to say.
Hey, no, I never said he was. You said that. It's a big accusation to make to poor Ugo over here. Ugo is just trying to live his life.
wait, what is?
Why
What
you
is?
told
What is?
calling him
guys that you
simple?
agree with him?
I can hear you. What is wrong with being simple?
Nothing at all.
sometimes-
It is a good
I
point,
didn't
Ugo.
say
You
it
make
was
a
a bad
very
thing.
good point.
I didn't say it was a bad thing.
I think simple's better than complicated. You know what you're getting.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Don't imagine as he's hiding much.
this banker, Don Marine. Yeah, is his revenue impressive? Who he's associated with reputable?
Yeah. The gold bank of Imiana is... Well... I mean, I've seen the ships going. They fill them up. They fill them up with gold and gems from this port. It's been going. It's been going a lot more recently. I think they're preparing for something.
Oh, did you know what that is?
I don't know. I just know what I see.
Well, do they take introductions? I would most like to become acquainted.
You have to know someone who inside. They're very secretive.
Yeah, but he's over there. I can go walk and say hello with my new friends, huh? Who can come along and support and find out what they have to say.
Are you saying this halfway through walking over there?
I feel like we shouldn't do that.
He
Why
just
not?
said he's dangerous.
I think we should just stay away from them.
Everything's dangerous if you have too much of it.
look,
Thank you for that. But
How about
yes,
this? I hand you a few coin, you come over with me, and you look strong.
I can look. I can take my rapier out and point it at him.
No, we do
No,
not show
no.
aggression.
No.
We just want to give the impression of being fearsome.
Wait,
I think-
Keskis, should I? Is it time? I just
No,
puts his
it is
hand
not
towards
time,
the-
Ugo.
the
It is not
handle is-
time.
Do you want me to smile at him?
Cascus.
That-
You, yes, Henning.
Henning, yes. I have to say, this idea of yours sounds like it's going to get us hurt.
Why would you
Have
get
you
us hurt?
seen who he has with him?
Cascus tilts his head.
Make a 7 check.
That's in the same one as these, I'm assuming. Yes.
No, perception is on the left.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I see.
They put it as like a step above.
Yeah, it's useful for a lot more things. So, even though obviously the far corner of the bar is quiet and dark, a bit darker, you see the two people with him are sort of kind of bit burly gentlemen. One of them has like a sort of twirled moustache, almost like finely waxed. Quite a small moustache considering he's got a big head and he's like bold and very muscular. And then the other one sort of like has set down a crossbow on the seat next to him. But you also notice he has a couple of flintlock muskets on his hip. And he's got sort of long hair tied back into sort of like a bun. Don Marine, who is sat in the middle, sort of he's sort of like begins looking over at you. It'd be there's an opportunity to go over if you want.
I highly unadvised. We've all just got here. We don't want to draw too much attention, now do we?
I want
Really?
to attract attention. I want
No,
to
you
make a good
don't.
name for myself.
Well, if you do not want to
No,
go,
maybe
you
not
can
in this
go.
way.
I'm quite comfortable going over my own. I've dealt with much bigger fish in my
I can
time.
go too.
Okay, fine. Let's all go over. Fine.
Okay, and would you like, you doing this without coin? This is very strange.
I don't care about coin. Let's just go.
I can take
Okay.
coin.
Well,
Yeah,
if you're
I'll
friends,
take some coins.
No,
Oh.
not
okay, I'll give a little bit of coin to you and to you, huh? Yes. And you just got to stay behind, yes? And just let me do the talking.
fine.
All right, so he begins to walk over. As you walk over, the big burly bodyguard gets up and notices you, and he begins to walk over to you, and he just sort of puts a hand out before you get like too close to Don Marine, and he says, "Stop right there." He starts patting you down. And there's a voice behind him because obviously you can't see through this big burly gentleman. You've got Hugo as your big burly gentleman, but this guy sort of as he's patting you down, you hear a voice behind saying, "It's okay, let him through. I want to hear what this one has to say."
Yeah. Hello, and Cascus bows very deeply and graciously. And can I do make a good impression again, please?
Yeah, make an impression. Go ahead.
So That's a 15.
Can you put the thing in the chat just for
What now?
make an impression?
Oh,
Because is it they are +1 step more friendly to you or something? Is that right? Is that how? it
yeah.
is?
So if it's a success, the attitude towards you improves by 1 step. It's a critical success. It's 2 steps. I'll just copy the text there.
Okay, that's a failure.
Okay. Nice.
What do you do for your make an impression? Sort of what?
Cascus bows deeply, and he says, "I bring gifts from far across the ocean to you." And he beckons, "It's next note over here, please." And 2 little kobolds come tripping over with a couple pouches. You see, we have traveled far across the lands to come with the greatest gifts for your ventures in Port Edren. I have a sugar. I have a meadow leaves. Oh yes, very exotic. And I have Aryan oranges. And then a little bit of sashimi on the side. If you know what I mean.
He doesn't seem particularly impressed. He sort of looks at them and says, "So you've come to make tribute, have you?"
A form of tribute, yes. I'm just trying to understand the local peoples of this area and to position myself as best as possible to get the best deal for myself and my employees around me.
So you're a bit of a go-getter, I take it.
Go-getter, that is such an oversimplification of who I am. I am just a simple merchant. Think nothing more, nothing less, please.
I thought you took simple to be an insult earlier.
He says, "And your name is?"
My name is Kaskis. And you are? I've heard, of course, silly. Everyone here knows who you are. Don Marine. Your reputation precedes yourself.
Yes, I am Don Marine Vakayan.
Of course. Sorry, can I, while this is going on, I'm going to use my investigator thing, which is pursue a lead. So, because I've had a minute conversation with this person, hopefully, they will now be pursued as my lead.
As your what are you pursuing?
Them.
Okay. Fair enough.
And their monies. And so, yeah.
He looks you up and down and says, "Well, Kaskis, I'll let you know if there's anything that I need help with. Have a nice night."
Yes. We are in the inn if you need us. All of my lovely new and existing employees will be on hand to serve you. Yes. He smiles at everyone who's there.
Not your employees.
He smiles at you and says, "Very well. It is nice to see a friendly face in these parts." And he sort of looks back down at his drink, and the bodyguard says, "All right, time to fuck off now."
I believe it is time for us to fuck off, Cascus.
Just kind of he bows, kind of walking backwards, if you know what I mean, and maybe knocks into something or something.
I didn't know that was a time. There was 1 o'clock. There's 2 o'clock. There's 3 o'clock. Is it the one that comes after 7?
Yes. Do you know what? Yes, it is.
Okay.
At the bar are your keys for your rooms. Your rooms are made up and ready. But you can do what you like if you want to stay down in the bar a bit longer.
Is it quite dark now?
In the bar, they've lit a couple of oil lamps.
I mean,
So there's
outside.
so it's getting a bit the sun has gone down at this point.
Okay. When it's
But-
darkness, I'd like to go.
Yeah, anything within the walls of the city have oil lamps on street corners and stuff, so you can see where you're going. And there's regular patrols of the merchant guard, who are the sort of police of the city. But you've heard some whispers that don't go out of the walls at night. Not if you want to. Not unless you want to get mugged.
Bugged.
But yeah, if you all like want to start getting yourselves settled and in your rooms, Henning, you're going to go for a walk, are you?
Just toward the docks.
Yeah, cool.
Just gonna put my hood up before I go out, so less noticeable. Just sort of try and blend in a bit, try not be noticed as I walk along.
Mhm.
And head to the docks.
Okay. As you sort of begin walking in the direction of the docks, you see a number of dock workers heading home for the night. A few of them drunk, a few of them heading into bars. You see a couple of the merchant guard. You see their like gold cloaks and sort of quite well adorned armor, separating them from sort of other sort of maybe like bodyguards and stuff that might be like escorting dons around. You also notice that they seem to have like a large halberds that they carry, and on the top of the halberds is a sort of barrel of a sort of single shot flintlock weapon that is like part of the halberd itself. As you walk past, you see a couple of them sort of like just like pouring powder into it and just sort of just making sure that it's like regularly ready to fire if they need it. But when you get to the docks, you see look out into the horizon. Having spent the last 3 months on a boat, on a number of boats to get here, it feels you're on solid land. The great expanse before you. Not quite sure exactly where it's going to take you.
I'm just sort of looking for a certain ship at the moment, just to see if it's docked along there. That's sort of why I went there, just to have a look around, see if it's there.
Make a perception check for me. It'll be a -2 circumstance modifier because it is dark.
Okay. The proficiencies? Is it there?
That's on.
Perception's on the left. It's on the left of the
Oh,
character.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Gonna have to get used to this.
Every time
Right.
someone does
Not just,
proficiencies. Where is
yes.
it?
How do I roll it?
You just click on the
dice.
dice.
It's not doing anything. Doesn't let me do it. Oh, no, it's right. I'm looking at initiative. Lol. Okay.
You click on the dice thing, the actual dice
Yeah.
itself.
So -2 to this, I guess. So -2 circumstance. So I can type that in myself.
No, I'll just take two
you
off
just
wherever
do
you
yourself.
are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, damn it.
You don't see the ship in question around. Although like you constantly have this sort of like thing where you think you see it, and you're like, and then you're like, oh.
Where are you, you fucker? I'm gonna find you. That's supposed
You're here now.
You again.
It's good to see you.
See you. Don't know where you are.
I'm everywhere.
I know you are. You seem to be following me, but I can't see where you are. Is it? Am I doing what you want? Is this what you want? Am I meant to be with these people?
I'll let you know. Just remember, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm sure you're not. As long
You
as
see-
you know your end of the bargain.
You hear a laugh, and then you see in the distance, sort of like something on the horizon. Seems to be like a big, don't know, like a fire or an explosion or something.
Fire. Shit. What's going on?
It seems to be getting bigger.
Coming this way. Is it a ship?
After a few seconds, it begins to fill almost the entire horizon around you, and then you see this like large flaming sphere, just like and this vision of the entire city just completely destroyed with flames and devastation and ash and bodies scattered around.
Ah, this can't be real. You're doing this, aren't you? This can't be real.
It is real.
No,
It is. It's just... And then you open your eyes and you're back.
I need to figure out how to get rid of you. Let's go back to the tavern.
Are you alright? You hear someone shouting from across the docks.
Yes, fine. Just a headache. Thank you.
Do you think you need some help getting back?
No. Just point me in the way of the tavern, please.
It's that way.
Thank you.
Alright. Yeah, as you begin walking back, you see a couple of the merchant guard sort of patting down someone in a street alley. And you notice just in the corner of your eye them saying, look what he's got. Sort of going into this guy's bag and saying, we could split this 3 ways. And then one of the other guards says, yeah, all right. And the person being patted down says, hey, that's my money. And he says, not if you want to keep your head there, it isn't. The guy says, oh, what do? Do you just carry on like moving, not draw attention to yourself?
Just try and not draw attention to myself at this point. There's no
Yeah,
way I
that's
could take 3 guards.
Yeah. So you sneak past and head back into the tavern. Vernell. Your room is tidy. It's clean. There's a fun sort of bear skin. It's just there's a sort of fun bear skin type. What's going on here? That's what I wanted. I'm just getting used to. There's a sort of there's like a bear skin on the floor, like a rug, and you notice that the bed seems comfortable. The pillows are fluffed and ready for sleeping on. The sheets are clean. There's like a jug of water by your bedside. It's nice.
Vanelle's gonna poke one of the pillows.
You poke it. Ow! You hear.
Hello?
You hear a laugh, and then poking her head out of the pillow is Nyx.
Oh, hello, little one.
You see that today she's taken on a sort of feminine appearance, almost like a leaf creature of some sort, almost like half woman, very small, maybe only a few inches tall, but with like 2 leafy wings. She says, I was just exploring.
I can see that. How are you liking the pillow? Is it warm?
I think these are made of dead things.
Oh, that's strange. That, and I point at the bear rug, that is definitely a dead thing. Do dead things bother you?
I don't know. I learned something new today.
Oh, what did you learn?
I learned how to lie.
Where did you learn that one from?
That guy in the bar.
There were many guys in that bar. Going to have to be a little more specific with me.
Well, they all kind of lie. Quite a lot.
That's a fair point. But who was lying, specifically? Was it the weird big guy, the horned one, the mean rich person, the other mean rich person, the other mean rich person,
I don't know. I have trouble telling them apart.
the nice rich lady?
I don't know. I have trouble telling people apart. I know you,
I'm glad.
but do you think I can lie more often for practice?
Would I...
Do you
You
think
want
that's a
to
good idea?
practice lying? Well, you only talk to me. Why would you want to lie to me?
Only you can see me.
Yeah, but why would you want to lie to me?
What? I don't know. It's a thing, right? That's what people do to each other.
Okay. So I lie to a lot of people. But that's only for very good reasons, like not getting locked up or having my head cut off. Lying is helpful sometimes, but only if you're in trouble.
So if I'm in trouble, I can lie.
Not if you're in trouble with me, because I'll know. I'm
But
very
you were
good
lying.
at...
You were lying to all those people, and you don't seem to be in trouble.
Because I'm a very good liar. I'm such a good liar, I happen to know when other people are lying.
No, you don't.
I don't?
It was a lie. She sort of like takes off of the pillow and begins flying around the room and says, "Is this how humans live?"
I think so. See, I always heard that they lived in these big stone buildings with these red stones, like that big fort thing.
Hmm. Do you think we can go there?
I don't know yet. Maybe. I would love to have a look inside.
I'd like to see what happens inside.
Probably not fun things.
Fun?
Oh yes. Fun, it's when you're doing something you enjoy or other people enjoy. I don't think people enjoy what's in there.
Hmm. Do you think I'd enjoy it?
I don't know. I hope not.
There's people. You hear a knock on the door.
Oh, hello.
The door opens and it's the barkeep. He says, sorry to bother you. I just wanted to know if you had left anything at the bar. There's something strange down there.
What is it?
Oh, it's this. He takes out this sort of small little like stone ball. It's sort of glowing with a sort of like it seems magical of some sort.
Would I have any close idea as to what this is?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Proficiencies. Arcana. Nope.
Oh, almost an natural 20. I saw that. No, you don't recognize it in the slightest. He can kind of tell as you're sort of looking at it. He says, "Don't worry, I'll check somewhere else." And he closes the door.
When he does, I'm gonna try and stalk him and pickpocket it.
He's probably going to hear if the door opens behind him.
Okay. Okay.
But you know he has it on him at some point. So Hanera.
Yeah?
Door knocks.
Okay. I answer.
It's the barkeep.
Hello! What
Hi.
can I help you with?
Hi again. Sorry, don't mean to intrude. Just wondering if you know anything about this. And he shows this sort of like glowing red orb to you.
Do I know anything about it?
Make an Arcana check.
$16.
You sort of have an idea what it could be. It seems like ancient elf technology uses these tiny little balls of rock sort of power them, almost like how Tarstones work. But they come from a long time ago. It doesn't have any innate power. It has to be combined with something else to like give off energy. But like it has to be combined with what's called gem heart dust. So before it actually like releases any actual power, but it's one half of that, it seems.
It's not mine.
Very well. By the way, food's going to be ready in a bit. If you let your friends know, and
Okay.
yeah, I'll see you down there. He sort of like backs off and closes the door.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on Cascus's door and tell him that the food's ready. And then knock on everyone's door.
Okay, Cascus, your answer?
Yes.
They just told me that the food's ready.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Ugo, snacks not. Come on.
Ugo's, yeah, again, eyes light up. He's gonna rush down. He's just gonna like barge past and like rush downstairs.
Aye, aye. Mind that he's got a life of his own. You will come to see him.
And then Henning and Zach's character, whose name I can't remember
For now.
for now. Fennel.
The nail.
Fennel. Yeah.
Chanel.
nothing.
You can see on the bottom left in Foundry. FYI.
Oh yeah, Fennel. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone makes their way down. You see in the corner of the room, on the other corner of the room, where sort of opposite where those people were sitting before, you see a small stage being sort of cleared, and a bard is sort of tuning his lute, getting ready to play. There's a couple of people sort of stood around the side with like drums and stuff as well, just getting ready. The inn is a little bit more busy now, but you managed to find a table. The innkeeper says, "So you're having some food then?"
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
How many porks are in one pig?
Sorry, how many porks are in a pig?
Yes.
Depends how big the pig is, I guess.
Oh.
So in
it
a
can't- it
pig
can't-
to a size of a pig to pork ratio.
I don't know what ratios are.
Okay,
Ugo
so
just sort
let's
of
say you have an
holds-
average sized pig.
Okay.
Sorry,
Sorry,
how much pork? How much pork is one pork?
A bowl?
How big
Of
is how
stew?
big is bowl?
This, and he sort of shows you a regular sized wooden bowl, which to you is not enough.
Start with 4.
4?
Sorry, is that not enough?
Well, I mean, there's bread as well, you know. 4? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's 2 coppers a bowl, so.
Oh, wait, hold on. We've had this conversation a few times before. We do not start buying and buying and buying. We cannot afford it. Yes.
I'm hungry.
Well, why don't you use your big strapping muscles and challenge some people to a fight or brawl or
I
you
can
call
pay
it
for this all for you.
an arm wrestle.
I'm not.
I can
You
pay
said
for you
you
four
said that
gibbles.
you said that I am not supposed to just fight bartender for food. You said
Not
that
the
was
barman,
bad.
Not the bartender. No. That is very bad. But you fight I don't know, challenge one of the people in here who just want to have a good time, some fun, just a bit of a hit on hit. Macho.
Did I hear that the elf wants to pay for it? Well, if you want to pay for 4 bowls for him, then go ahead.
I can pay for. I'll pay for 2 bowls,
Oh,
and you can pay for the other 2 bowls.
thank you.
Well, are you having any food?
I'll have a bowl of pork as well.
I'll definitely be having a bowl.
Maths is hard. So 4 for the big fella. What about you, horny guy?
Hey, it's early in the evening. I have a one ball, please. And for the my 2 kobold friends, kind of scraps you have. The stuff you throw in the bin usually.
Oh, I think I saw them rooting around in the bins outside, actually.
Oh, that is fine. We let them just do
Oh,
that thing.
I'll just buy them another ball.
No, they much
seem-
prefer that type of thing. You don't want to get these people hooked on a diet of luxury because one day it get taken away.
But what if it gets taken away from you?
Do not be ridiculous. I'll be quite okay.
You're going to
have-
become an adventurer. I don't think you're going to be eating luxuriously every day.
Oh, you'll find when you have a silver tongue, you can basically get anyone to give you anything.
Your
you
tongue's
want.
made of silver.
No, it is, but it's very sharp. I'd mind its bite.
Do you
And
not?
some-
Do
Tongues
you
don't
not?
bite, teeth do.
Do you not cut inside of mouth?
No, of course they do not.
How many bowls am I ordering? Sorry, is it 10?
One for me.
I'm going to buy him 2, and myself 1.
Oh, you know what? Just give me a silver and you can have 10 bowls between you.
Yeah, that works quite well.
Right. In that case, fine. Do you want any drinks as well? Remember, 1 drink per meal. But I suppose
I'll have a
the
glass
big guy
of
can have
wine,
4
please.
then? Wine? Okay.
What drinks do you have?
We've got beer, whiskey, and wine.
I will have a wine as well.
Wine for me, please.
It reminds me of my favourite quote about wine.
What's your favorite quote?
What's that?
They say, beer dulls a memory, whiskey sets it burning, but wine is best for a sore heart's yearning.
Beautiful.
I see.
I didn't know my heart was sore. I
Well,
should get a doctor to look at that.
For beer.
4 beers, of course.
4
Uh,
beers, of course.
I'll have a
4
beer.
beers.
Very well, your orders are on their way. I would recommend getting a better seat than what you've got. These fellas are pretty good, I gotta say.
Like I said, nothing better to do in my time.
How many bowls are going to be left over from this, by the way? Because, I don't think we're all going to be eating 10 bowls between us.
I mean,
The big one may.
Ugo
very
will
well.
finish them off probably.
is
I was
only full
deal
bowl.
too.
Full bowl.
if you wanna just like smuggle some away, that's fine.
Yeah, gonna smuggle some away.
Yeah, that's okay. So the bards begin to finish tuning their instruments, and the inn begins to get a bit louder as they start to get ready to begin playing. You hear the crowd getting a bit rowdy.
Haha.
The bard who's at the main sort of part of the stage, the guy at the front, is playing this like extremely beautiful lute. It seems almost like in the shape of a dragon, and it's sort of curled around, like a dragon's tail curls around where the sort of strings meet the bridge. It seems to make a really beautiful sound. You see in the back a couple of figures walk into the bar and sort of push their way through the crowds, and Cassius, you with your observation skills sort of notice them walking over to Don Marine's table. One of them looks quite nervous. He seems like a sort of like a worker of some sort with like a flat cap on, and sort of sits down at the table and is like flanked by the 2 bodyguards of Don Marine who sort of like put their hands on him. They're saying something between them, but the guy looks terrifying. And then there's another guy stood behind who also seems to be working for Don Marine and has like escorted him there.
Okay, Cascus is just like firmly paying attention to that and just ignoring the kind of small talk going on around.
Make a perception check for me.
I can put Pursue a lead on, yeah?
Yeah.
Gives me an extra +1 circumstance bonus. 16.
So 17.
No, it's I factor in.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. It's
So as you look over, you notice that Don Marine is sort of like smiling at the guy, and then suddenly goes very serious, and sort of his entire visage drops, and just like he's staring like deeply into the other guy's eyes, and then he sort of takes out a dagger in a sheath and sort of pushes it to the other end of the table. And you see that the figure sort of like reaches over, the guy he's talking to reaches over like a trembling hand and picks it up. The dagger itself seems to be in this sort of like black leather case. You can't quite make out exactly what it looks like, but it seems to be quite a quite ordained handle. It seems to have something on the pommel which is shiny of some sort, maybe made of gold. And he sort of picks it up with a sort of shaking hand and then puts it in his pocket, and then he nods to the Don and gets up and is escorted out.
Can Cascus get up and follow and kind of like nudge Ugo?
Do you want to do it stealthily?
If it's stealthy, I'll just Cascus will do it on his own quickly then. If it's stealthy, yeah.
Yeah, you sort of make it look like you're going to the toilet or something.
Yep.
The privy, I should say. All right. You go outside, and there's a few people outside just sort of talking to each other, and you notice that the figure is walking out off into the distance and goes into one of the side alleys.
Can Cascus follow?
Yeah, make a stealth check for me, please.
Yep. Pursue a lead. I'm okay with that one still.
I'll allow it for now. I'll have a look at it.
Yep. Fine. So it's you spend a minute.
Oh no!
What did I get?
No.
Not sure.
We've got a sound effect for this.
Oh yeah, I do. Where is it? Where is it?
Nah. Did it happen?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
It was quite
it.
quiet.
It
It
was
was quite
quite
quiet, but yeah, it kind of blended in with the rest.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you begin to make your way over there, and as you sort of round the corner, the person looks over his shoulder and then just starts running off.
Cascus just kind of like snapdragons. Turns around and goes back.
Okay, you make your way back into the inn. The audience are clapping. You notice that a couple of people are sort of nudging against each other at the edge of the bar, and one of them sort of turns around and shoves this sort of older gentleman, maybe the guy who was even talking to you earlier, into Ugo. And Ugo, one of your bowls just spills on the floor. It's like as the guy gets shoved into you. The guy sort of pushes off and then just like goes and starts throwing punches with the guy who punched him. There's like this whole bar fight just like breaking out.
Ugo's gonna go join in.
All right.
Oh, good lord.
All right, you get up. At the moment, they're just obviously fighting each other. A bunch of people are like starting to disperse from the area. What do you do?
So the guy that knocked the bowl out, I'd like to just go and try and like grab him and pick him up.
Okay. Make a grapple check.
Okay.
Is it grapple? Athletics? Hang on, let me just...
Yeah, a grab, I believe
Grab.
it's called.
Grab
But
is
it's basically
the,
the same thing, right?
Yeah.
The athletics. I think it's athletics. It is just athletics, right? Is it athletics?
Grab. Grabbed. Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
And and hang on, just bear with me one moment. It's just like a fight going on as people are jeering. Oh, sorry, you have to make a strike action. So use that.
I think it'll be the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So 10. That misses, unfortunately. Like as you sort of go to grab him, he sort of just like sees you coming from behind, dodges out the way, as the other guy smashes a chair over his head, and sort of like smashes over your hands as you went to grab him, and it's just sort of like now you think that maybe he's fighting yours. What do you do?
It's gonna try and grab him again.
Who are you grabbing?
The same guy.
Same guy. He's on the floor now at this point. All right, so you'll have. So if you make a grab action, that will be +2 to your check.
Okay, so it would just be an unarmed.
Because he's flat-footed to you. Yeah, it's an unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike, yeah.
But
So
no,
with
there's no damage.
So with a +1 or +2? +2 if it's flat-footed, right?
Sorry?
+2 if it's flat-footed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Still not great.
Hugo.
Is it combat grab actually? Archetypes Are you the wrestler archetype? Oh no, hang on.
I don't have that yet.
Whenever, yeah.
Oh right, so it'll be so there'll be oh maybe you don't
Yeah,
even
I
have it.
don't think I've really got anything special. Just
Yeah. So
regular stuff.
I'll just do it. I'll just do it this way for now. So where are we? 13. Yeah, you just about get him. Well, it's 15, right? Oh no, it's 13 with
13.
Yeah. You just about managed to grapple him, and you sort of stood on top of him. You have 2 more actions.
Just gonna like hold him and just go. You'll spill soup.
The guy looks up and is like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like this absolutely hulking guy, just like hovering over him.
Be more careful. You spill
Yeah.
soup on nice floor. Make mess of nice tavern.
All right. The barkeep comes over. Calm it the fuck down, Jesus.
So we try and like kind of like hold him, just like lift him up and like prop him back on his feet.
Right now, are you gonna all 3 of you? Oh, I don't know how this happened. Right, you say sorry to him. Sorry. And you, pointing to Hugo, say sorry to him.
Wait, what am I sorry for?
You grabbed him.
He spilled soup.
Right. Say sorry, otherwise I'll call the merchant guard.
I'm sorry for you spilled soup and I grab you.
Right. That's good enough.
Okay.
Right. If I see that again, you're out. All of you. And he turns around. All right. And he's like, thingies at the band. He says, all right, carry on.
While this fight was happening and the bartender's attention was on the fight, could I have maybe swiped that little stone thingy?
Yeah, in the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Make a what's it called? I need to try.
Thievery, I think.
Thievery check.
Because it'll be either stealing or palming an object, I believe.
Oh, it'll be palming an object.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. It'll be. There's a lot of different. Trained in thievery, pickpocket is a skill. Steal or palm an object that's closely guarded, such as in a pocket. Oh, that's a feat. Sorry. Right. Okay. It is steal or palm an object. Palm an object is basically when there's something out on the side. You can try and take it without anyone seeing. And steal is like you have to go into someone's pocket to get it. So
I
steal.
imagine it's in his pocket, yeah. So that'd be a thievery check, right?
That would be a thievery check. Yeah.
Okay. Do I have any bonuses because of the chaos, or...?
Attempt to thievery check to determine if you successfully set the DC to steal is usually the perception DC of the creature. Yeah, so because he's distracted, that'll be -2 on his
Okay.
DC. Well, you have a +2 to your check.
So that should be a 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, his perception DC isn't very high. Yeah, he doesn't notice. You sort of just reach into his pocket as he's sort of dealing with Ugo, and you take out the glowing red bead, sort of red orb.
Slip it into one of my many pouches and return to my spring mutton. Wait, no, I had pork. Yes.
All right, so let's take a break there, shall we? And we'll.
Sure.
I'm gonna
So now
make
that you've stolen it.
tea.
All right, come back in 15 minutes, so 5 to 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to thingy the stream, Richard?
Yeah. See you in a bit.
Hello, welcome back to the after the break. So just before the break, what happened? We met the new group, and they have spent an interesting night just getting settled into their new home, the Tavern Inn in Port Edren. So the bar, sort of the music continues on for a good little while. Vanel, you had just before the break stolen one of these little orbs from the barkeep. In the chaos of the fight, what would you like to do with that? Are you just going to hide it away?
I'm just gonna hide it away, sit back down, and I'm going to smile at Hanera. Hey there.
Hi.
So I have a question, a very serious question that requires the utmost. I don't know the right words for it, but it's a very important question.
Okay.
Is your name related to that special kind of bread?
No.
I thought I had something there. But yeah, that aside, so I'm curious because I think we're meant to be working together. I think is the implication. So I was just wondering what it is you do, why you want to become an adventurer. I wouldn't usually think someone wearing a dress would be adventuring.
What I do? Magic.
You do magic. I do a little bit of magic.
I only do a little bit of magic. I don't know much, but I just thought one day I just woke up and decided to become an adventurer.
You just okay. Cool.
Make a society check for Vanel.
Okay. Society.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nice.
So your eagle eyes definitely pick up that Hanera doesn't come across as a low class elf, for sure. Like her dress is nice, the way she holds herself seems educated.
So,
From your experience of elves, yeah, you know there's fairly large class differences in elves in
higher
Adana.
up the societal ladder.
Perchance.
Well, if you ask me, can I speak my truth?
Of course.
If you ask me, you seem a bit comfortable. Like, usually a bit more comfortable than people who want to go out adventuring. You see, I'm very good at noticing little quirks with people. And usually people who go out adventuring do so because either there's desperation, or they want to make a good name for themselves, or they want the coin. You don't seem desperate. If you stayed back home, I doubt you'd want much for coin.
Well, then the second one. I want to make a good name for myself. Does that answer your questions? Why is it you want to be an adventurer?
Well, I want to make a good name for myself. I think I've said this before. I might be mistaken. Sometimes I say things and I don't know I'm saying them. Sometimes I think I said something and I never said it.
Maybe you should get that checked out.
Nah, I don't like doctors. Doctors are weird.
Are you talking in common or elven, by the way?
I would say common, probably. This is Vanael trying to just get a general read on as many people as possible.
Yeah, sure.
And you, weird horned man. What are you again?
He's kind of eyeing Domarine's table still. What am I? I'm a human. Silly question.
But you have horns, right? Humans don't have horns.
Well, that's very presumptuous of you, no?
But no other human around here has horns.
Ah. When a man and a woman love each other very much, or somebody who identifies as one or the other, they get together, they have a child, they have many, they are happy. They all come out, pop, 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 nice human. One day, pop, oh, he has horns. He must be a terrible person, no?
I didn't think you were terrible. I'm just curious. I've never heard about anyone having horns before.
Everyone always thinks the worst of me.
I wouldn't think the worst of you. I think you're very intelligent. I think you're very good at getting people to do what you want them to do. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I just think that's interesting.
And I know what it means when somebody is just trying to get information out of someone. This is what you try to do,
Well,
You put on the veneer of being someone who is sensible, not assuming, but you are trying your very hardest to get a read on everyone, aren't you? And he kind of moves his eye gaze onto Vanille.
Well, of course I am. I want to know who I'm working with. And also, I imagine, well, as that lovely Don said, people have plans. I think it's not necessarily a bad idea if we had a closer idea as to what each other's plans were. So that, we don't wind up conflicting or worse.
You speak logic and sense. Well, I've already made it perfectly clear what myself and associates are doing here. We are simply here to make lots of money.
You're here to make lots of money. Your friends don't seem to be making as much.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I don't think they're here for the same reasons you are.
Preposterous. You're my employees and my loyal employees. They are here because they want to be here. You ask Hugo, he will say he wants to be here. I treat him nicely, I treat him well, I give him what he needs. He gives me what I need. It is a transaction, and it is a good relationship.
You give him what he needs, or do you give him what you think he needs? Or what you make him think he needs?
I'm done with this conversation. I knew you were one of these people. These prying eyes tots.
I think you're one of these people too.
You interest.
And you, rude man.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you're very rude.
I'm
You're
not
probably the rudest
rude.
of the group.
I'm not rude, I'm just honest. Some people don't like that.
I think you can be honest without being rude.
How have I been rude to you?
It's your tone, the way you talk to people, the words you say. You act as if you're the smartest person in the room.
Well, I could be.
You could be. You could maybe not be.
Anyway, how can I help you?
What do you do?
What do I do? Well, that's a very good question. He just sort of opens up the side of his coat and shows you vials and sort of bomb-looking type things. This. This is what I do.
Huh. So you do alchemy?
Yes. Yes.
I know
Exactly.
some alchemy. I know some alchemists. I know a little bit about it, actually.
What do you know?
Well, not very much. I had to know a small bit about it when I was younger. You see, I was quite the painter, and I would use natural paints from around where I grew up.
That
And
is.
many of those plants could be very, very poisonous.
Are they now? Where did you grow up?
From here. You won't know about it. It's only a small village.
I'll make a note of it, though. Maybe we could visit. There's some plants.
It's not there anymore.
Oh, where's that? Too personal?
Big man, what do you do?
I see it is okay for him to ask questions to us, but not the other way around. Huh? He kind of knocks Henning. So.
What do you?
I never told you
what
that
do you mean? What
had
do
to
I
answer
do?
my questions. Well, I sneak up and I stab things. Our lady friend here does magic. Your boss is very good at looking into people and getting people to do as he asks. And our other friend here makes bombs. What do you do?
I eat. I drink. Lots of eat and drink since well, since move, but if also sometimes stand next to caskets and people go, oh, and sometimes if there is danger, and then he just like grabs his like oversized maul with like one hand and just like holds up this like massive head of bronze into the air. This can come in handy.
So you like to smash things?
It depends on thing.
Okay. To answer your earlier question, Cascus, it's I never said that you had to answer questions. It's a very, very sore subject.
Well, we will do our best to be as courteous to it as we can.
Thank you.
I won't ask again until maybe later. I'm curious.
Henning, was it?
Yes, Henning.
What are things in very small
Are you asking what is in the vials and various things I have in my pocket?
yes, vials.
Vials.
Like tankard,
Various
but
concoctions,
small and lid.
Various
Strange.
concoctions that can do certain things. I have actually been looking into what sort of potions that can enhance people. And, I think you might just be the perfect subject for that.
How do they taste?
Oh, disgusting. They'll be vile to drink, but
Better
the
than
effects
this?
may well be worth it.
Any worse than that? And kind of points over to one of the glasses of wine.
Oh, a lot worse than this. And he takes a sip of wine.
Ooh.
But what they can do for you will certainly be worth the taste. But that can be for another time.
Can they make hair grow back?
Oh, possibly.
What if hair comes back in the wrong place?
Well, I'm sure I can think of a potion that can fix that too.
And have you ever tried to sell your potions? You seem well gifted.
Could possibly sell my potions are far too powerful for anyone else to have.
Amazing.
The
Potion
level
seller.
of optimist.
My potions are too
It
powerful for you.
It took me 2 hours to get that in.
I am going into battle, and
You need your most powerful potion.
your strongest
Hugo, I
potions,
couldn't
Henning.
possibly give you. No.
There's far more chance. Yeah.
No, to answer your question, well, seriously, not particularly. I mean, they're fairly simple concoctions. They're not too advanced, but you know, probably a bit more advanced than someone that's never worked in alchemy would possibly be able to create.
Well, I see a very lucrative business opportunity ahead of me, and if you ever want investment, you know where to come. Hmm?
I will let you know. I will
I
let
see.
you know on that.
Yes.
But for now, I will keep them to myself.
Well, you're lost. I'd rather the world's lost. Hmm?
If you need, I think I hear it called a guinea pig. I am told
Just
I
this
am.
fictional guinea you speak of.
Oh,
I
oh,
am.
yes.
I am told before that I am good guinea pig.
Oh, Hugo, I already know
Yeah,
you will be.
It was
Don't you
certainly
worry.
not from. Yes, I certainly did not tell you that. No.
I do not know what this is, but apparently I am good at it. One of my skills.
Don't worry. I'm sure I'll find something to try out. I mean, give to you.
I look forward to it.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Venia.
Why aren't you a merchant? Why are you in the Adventurers Guild?
Ah, this is a good question. You ask the correct question now. He leans in a little bit into the table, kind of looking around. It is true I am after money, but the biggest prize of them all. And then he points at the elf, like the ears of Hanera and Vino. And yeah, and says, "There's the riches. Hmm?
Our ears are wealthy?
Oh no, it is where you're from. The opportunities. These are things the merchant class of Port Edren could dream of at the moment.
You won't
Yeah.
find many opportunities where I'm from, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, you have not tried hard enough. The world has many riches to offer. There are plenty of elves who will buy these things, I am sure of it.
Okay.
May I ask a question back to you? You have asked us what all our skill sets are, but I am none the wiser of yours.
Can I just look around to make sure that no one else is looking at us?
Yeah, I mean, you all sat at a table together.
Yeah, I mean just like, you know, in case the,
Oh, yeah,
the
sure.
bartender.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay, hang on. Perception. Hey. 18.
What? Oh yeah. You don't seem to notice anyone. Everyone's quite busy. It's quite packed in the pub, and there's music playing and people talking.
I quickly pull out the small orb. Did you see me take this?
Henera, you see that as well.
I didn't.
Of course you didn't. And I put it back in.
Wait, I'm very confused. Do you buy things? You have a glowy orb?
No, I just handle things that require a little bit more discretion.
Ah, I see. You are a pickpocket.
Sometimes. Sometimes I move things. Sometimes I put things into other people's pockets. Sometimes I break things. I'm whatever needs done that can't be solved by someone running in screaming.
And what is your going rate?
Well, depends on what the guild's paying. I don't care much for money.
So what do you want? If I say go kill a man, what do you do? What do you ask for?
It depends on the man. I don't want to do bad things. I've only ever done bad things because I had to.
You just stole that orb.
Yes, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to get money to eat. And
Okay.
give the rest over to those who do need it.
Very interesting fellow. I think we'll
Thank
get on
you.
well.
Can Cassis look over to Don Marine's table? Just kind of
Sure.
what's going on? Just nothing, no change.
He's gone now. He's slipped out. Yeah, in the last few minutes, like since you last looked, he isn't there anymore.
It seems our friend is gone. I'm just going to quickly grab another drink. Excuse me.
Grab me another wine, would you?
No, you can get it yourself. And he
Okay.
gets.
Fine then.
And Cascus
Very good.
doesn't go to the bar, but he goes to the table where Don Marine was.
Sure.
Can I just like invest, like, I don't know, like in a way that doesn't make it look super suspicious, maybe, but just like sit down at the table as if I'm just like writing something down in my notepad or something. But while I'm kind of doing that, just like looking around me, seeing if anything was like left or anything disturbed, or even just like any kind of detail.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a. Wait, I might have a. Hold on. One sec.
That'll be a perception check then.
Yeah, I don't think it's. And I think I get a circumstance bonus because it'll be a lead, right? +1, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Modify circumstance public roll. Perception. So 20.
You sat at the table. You're just having a look around. They don't seem to have left anything of any import. Just a few cups, a bowl of food. As you sit down at the table, one of the barmaids comes over and says, "Sorry, lad. Oh, you're." She's like seems flustered, like looking at you. She says, "Sorry, this table is reserved."
Oh, and it was reserved for who?
It's reserved for Don Marine.
Ah, I see. Of course. How silly of me. Kind of gets. And how is he always? Does he always have this area reserved?
Whilst he's in the city, yes.
Ah, well, I do particularly like this table. It is nice acoustics. How long would that be for?
Make a diplomacy check. She says, I think I saw that he is leaving in the next couple of days.
Ah, very good. That's very helpful. I'm looking forward to. It seems these minstrels did a really good job, and the setting of this table, it feels right, Hmm?
Well, once Don Marine has left, if you would like to put down a deposit on the table, that is absolutely fine. But you will have to speak to the manager about that.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. I might do that if that's okay. But I will go see the barkeep and the manager at a later time.
Yes, okay. I do have to move you though.
No, that's fine. I'm going. I'm just going to buy a beer, I think.
Okay. Sort of like stands around until you get up and leave.
Yeah.
And then she goes and clears the pots, the dishes and the cups off the table, and sort of gives it a wipe down before she leaves again. As you sort of like are walking around, you actually notice something at the bottom. Like now that you've sort of like stood away from the table, your perception check carrying over, like underneath one of the benches at the back table, there does seem to be something on the floor.
Can you just grab it?
Yeah. Do you want to palm an object?
Yeah. How do I do that?
I think it's just a thievery check, but I'll just double check. Are you
Proficient in thingy.
Well, it's trained.
Trained, sorry. I am trained in thievery, yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. So you need to do a thievery check then.
Nice.
Okay. So you sort of just like going down to, I don't know, pretending to tie your shoes or something. You just like pick up something. It seems to be a small coin. But it's not a coin like anything you've seen before. It seems to be made out of a different sort of metal. It's shiny like silver. But it doesn't have the heft of silver, and it's definitely not tin. It seems to be, I don't know, like in your hand it seems to be quite malleable and pliable. It's definitely not platinum. And the engravings on it seem to be it seems to be this sort of like an Ouroboros, like a snake biting its own tail. And then in the center there's just a sort of like bunch of like writing on the inside that seems to have mostly been faded with time. Like you can't quite make out what the writing actually once said, but you know it is writing.
Cool. That's really useful. Cascus pockets it, goes to the bar, grabs a beer, comes back to the table, and then starts like fiddling with the coin in his fingers, kind of, you know how you kind of like twiddle it through it.
Notice the coin.
What's your perception DC? What's your perception bonus?
My perception bonus, hang on, is my perception bonus is +6.
So that would be 16, your DC. So Cascus is palm an object. You do not notice it.
Okay.
And I mean, if you're like obviously showing it around, then you know.
No, I mean it's just a coin that he's kind of twiddling.
Oh right. Well, if you're not actively hiding it.
No.
Yeah. Then in that case,
You got that, friend.
Yeah, this coin, huh? You see, while you were enjoying each other's company, I was keeping my eyes. And then, like, he tries to do this, like, illusion where it's really shit, right? But he, like, tries to hide the coin. And then he goes, oh, where is it? And then he holds it in his hand. On the money. Our friend over there. Edit. Don Marin, he is, seems he would be in town for a few days. And he had this. And Cascus puts the coin onto the table and slides it across the kind of wood towards the center, but he doesn't lift his finger off of it. But he shows the kind of various things on it. Does this mean anything to anyone?
Not a thing.
Does it mean anything to anyone?
No, I'd say not.
Okay. Beats me.
Very interesting, though.
Where did you find that?
Oh, I just left it over by the table.
It was underneath the bench that one of the bouncers was sat on, rather than Don Marin.
Oh.
Don Marin.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
It is a simple mistake on their behalf, but it could lead to a slightly more interesting endeavor. Don Marine is well placed within Port Edrin, and there is perhaps opportunity here.
Perhaps.
Or perhaps it's just a foreign coin.
Have you ever seen a coin like this? This looks more like a sigil or something you'd use to get into somewhere. This is not common tender.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like the metal might be some sort of steel alloy. Maybe some other metal like mixed in there somewhere.
The material, it is, look, it almost like tries to ply his fingers. It is not a normal coin. This would be damaged in a satchel or, through long travel. It's just not good.
So, like a pass key.
Perhaps.
Perhaps we should not be waving that around.
I am not waving it around. See, it is under my finger. Only us can see, yes?
It's
It's on the
visible,
table.
and you don't know who could be watching, so maybe pop it away for now.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing. The Kazakhstan fighter. Doing what he says. So anyway, I think a trip to some information broker might be of service here, but
Well, we'll need to find somebody who we can trust first. Don't want to be showing that around to anybody. You don't know what it could be.
does anybody know anyone here?
No.
I'm as new here as anyone else. Oh no, I tell a lie. I've been around for a little bit, but I wouldn't know an information broker.
And what about you, Henera?
No idea. I've only just arrived in the city.
Okay.
Maybe that Don would know. Don Venganza? Venganza? I don't know. Something like that.
Eden Vigenza?
Yes. Yes, that one.
Strange names in this city.
These are certainly strange names.
Well, I do not make it a business to give company secrets out to outsiders, and as much as you outsiders, it feels like I have no much choice but to extend an olive branch of some type of trust over these at least couple of days. But to this Don Iden, who I have apparently supposed to pledge loyalty, well, I have not done that yet, so no need to tell him.
No, of course not.
No,
We keep
but
it amongst ourselves.
of course not. But at the same time, maybe he would know someone within who knows things.
We are supposed to be adventurers, are we not? I do not think that he would see that as adventuring as much as
Not
I don't know.
necessarily. You see, oftentimes the greatest adventures are the ones held in urban environments. Commonly, criminal elements. And it would help to have some form of informant. Someone who knows what's going on, what's passing through. I imagine the Adventurers Guild would know several criminals and has made deals with them.
So we asked Don Iden to introduce us to people who know more about the city, and we use them as our contact for information.
Sounds,
Yeah.
Sounds ideal.
Okay, we can do that. Sounds like we have a couple of days, but I must ask you, I cannot promise you a large cut of the business, you see. Our company, it is in need of some capital backing.
I'm not interested in money.
Not money I seek either. But it helps to have some.
Fine. You take 10% of the cut for any profits made on this endeavor. Here, Nera, you want money?
Well, I
Yep.
need to live.
10% for you.
10%. Okay.
Percentage are you getting?
Ugo, you take copper, yes?
I think Ugo should get as much as you're getting.
He will. He will. It goes. You see, all our money it comes together and it gets put into investments with interest. Hmm? So really, I'm making Ugo money.
Keskis has always been very generous to Ugo.
You see?
Let's see.
Vanel very much narrows his eyes.
He let Ugo have very, very expensive weapon. Look, this is bronze. Most expensive, not most expensive, but very expensive metal.
Of course. Bronze is very expensive.
Anyway.
Any tips? Any tips for the band? Any tips for the band? The the barkeep goes around with like a pint glass. People are like putting like a couple of coppers in.
Sorry, I have no tips. I don't even know music. Would not know where to start.
No, not.
Any money for the band? You know, they cost money.
Oh,
Everything costs money.
Here's 2 copper.
Thank you.
I throw in a silver.
So how's your night been, all of you?
Oh,
Eventful.
brilliant.
Do you need any help getting around or anything? If you got any questions, I'm available for a chat or money. You know, my rent's gone up.
Well-
The people that were strung up earlier. Do you know what they do?
Yeah, that was Squad 4 and Squad 6. Yeah,
Why were they? What did they do? What did they do to deserve it?
They got on the bad side of Merchant Prince Kutaban.
Which side is bad side? Would be good to avoid, apparently. Left or right?
You'll just be better off not meeting the Merchant Prince at all, I think. I've never met him. I've never been killed.
As an adventurer, it is not inevitable that we will become acquainted with this merchant prince.
He says to Vanel, he says, "Can I just speak to you for a second?"
Sure.
Takes you around the back and he says, "Do you think I'm a fool?"
Absolutely not.
Right. You know what the punishment is for stealing in these parts?
I imagine it's hanging.
Where is it?
I just kind of hand it over.
Thank you. I only showed it to you and to her tonight. She hasn't been out of that seat all night. But you were right up in my business when I was sorting out that fight. If you're going to steal things, you need to be a bit more careful than that, mate. Listen, I don't want to see you get hung. You seem pretty smart. And I want to see this place flourish. If you really want it, you can have it. It's not mine anyway.
Okay.
Right.
That said, though, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm sorry. I didn't think you'd notice.
Right, that's not a reason to steal from people.
No, it's not, but I have other reasons.
Right, I'm not interested in your excuses. I accept your apology. Let's have a drink about it, over it, and that enough is enough, alright?
Alright. That said, though, you seem to know a lot about what's going on in this place, right?
Well, I do run this place.
The place is, I mean, Port Edrin.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I've been here since the start.
Drug people tend to talk a lot.
I see where you're going with this. What do you want? What do you want to know?
Do you know Anyone, any information about anyone who might know something about the more shady goings on around here?
The more shady goings on.
You know,
What are you in the mood for, Is it a Kidian?
a Gideon. I'm just curious. I'm looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you see, and I'd rather not have daggers in my back.
You come to the wrong city, mate.
Hmm.
But if you want to keep yourself prepared, money is the best motivator in this place. He rubs his hand together.
I hand him 2 gold pieces.
There we go. Everyone's got a price. What do you want to know?
I kind of draw the Ouroboros thing that I saw on the coin. Do you know anything about that?
Where did you see that?
That's my business.
Alright, alright. Well, didn't mean no harm. Yeah, that's the symbol of the Bank of Imyana.
Okay.
That's the that's where most of the Adno Merchant Company keeps its gold.
Ah. So very important people.
Yeah. It's an island fortress. You're not going to get into that without an army. Even an army probably won't help you. You probably need a few dragons.
There's not a lot of those around left.
No one's seen one in 40 years.
Hmm. Yeah.
Listen. If you go after these merchants' money, they will kill you and make an example out of you. That's the one thing that they really don't want you going after. Everything else, there's a price. Alright? If you understand that, you'll get on fine here.
Thank you.
Very well.
It was a pleasure making your acquaintance.
I've been around these parts for a long time. You're not the only adventurer here. He turns around and he walks into the back.
I sit back down and I start grinning. I made a friend.
Go on.
So, I might have been right. Might just be a regular old coin. That's the symbol of the Bank of Imyana. And that's a banker from the Bank of Imyana, right?
Correct.
So, if it came from one of his bodyguard's pockets, clearly that's there on the bankroll. That said, though, the Bank of Imyana is an island fortress. And that's where...
Imyana's here.
Whereabouts?
Down at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, that's where Adna Merchant Company keeps most of its money. Well, all of its money, I would imagine.
Yeah. I see, so... Why do they carry these coins around? Is it just a mark to say they are a part of the company, or they are they are a banker? Or part of the banker guild?
As someone who pickpockets people a lot, would I know if that money is any good here?
Make an intelligence check. Just straight intelligence.
Okay. Straight intelligence. I might just have to roll 1d20 plus 1 because it's not letting me.
Oh yeah, sure. Actually, no, society's fine. I just society modified to that. So
Well,
plus 3, so 23, right?
Yep.
You probably would assume that it's some sort of, it's like it represents a larger sum of money, but you can only obviously exchange it through the bank.
so it's a credit card.
Potentially, yeah. Like you could carry a bunch of those around, and depending on like, you know, it basically means that if you go from bank to bank, you can get your money out, but if you're going on the road, you're not going to get all your money stolen.
Yeah. You know, could maybe trade that in.
Yeah, you're suggesting this in some way represents a financial number of assets.
Yeah.
I assume you would have to have an associated account.
Maybe. Maybe if we... How... You seemed rather friendly with that maid.
You are the second person suggesting I am having a bit of fun tonight, huh?
I'm just
So-
curious what she might have told you.
I have already told you. Don Marine is been here for a few days, and he has reserved the table for that period of time, and I mean, there's not really much else to say. Hmm?
Well, if he's... Maybe we come back here at some other time. We keep an eye on the bodyguard that dropped the coin. Maybe we'll learn more about him.
I like your thinking. But I'm only in this for financial benefit. I do not want to get into any political wrongdoings. Huh?
Of course not.
I do not want to get too close to these bankers. I have my reasons, but I'm sure you do too.
Oh, no. I'm just more interested in finding out what exactly is in there.
In there.
Well, you know, in the storage, what kind of gold and gems he has.
I see.
I'm not after financial gain, but oftentimes, you know, sometimes people with too much need to remember what it's like to have a little bit too little. If you catch my drift.
Cascus doesn't. He's like, ooh, shit. Kind of like, here's him out. What
know-
is the? Go on. Sorry,
No, what were you saying?
I was just gonna ask what the time was.
It's getting pretty late. It's probably past midnight now.
Okay, well, that's my bedtime.
Yeah, I think it's time I go to bed.
The band has stopped now. It's just people talking in the background.
Okay, looking around, is Nyx doing anything?
You can't see her at the moment. She sort of just like tends to morph into different things, and sometimes she'll like be a candle, or she'll be something else. You know, she's quite formless. But looking around, you see that you know, as people are drinking, the little fey creatures that you can see, like that hover around people and like sort of like feed off their energy. As people are sort of like talking to each other and getting excited, there's like some of these fey creatures just pop into existence, scurry around a little bit around them, and then disappear again. There's you know, hundreds are all around you. Wherever there's large collections of humans and elves and you know, mortals, there tends to be a large of these, and it's quite overwhelming. It can be quite overwhelming sometimes as well.
Yeah. Do I see any scuttling around my brand new friends?
Yeah, a little bit. It's usually the more heightened emotions get, the more like obvious it is. So after the fight, it was like heightened emotions for a bit, and now it's starting to mellow out a bit. You notice that alcohol seems to affect it. Like it tends to mute their presence as well.
Right. Okay.
And lots of humans drinking means that like there should be more, potentially. But either way, you hear a voice in your ear from like a little grain of wood that Nyx is sort of like morphed into, saying, "I'm confused as to why all these people are here.
Why is that?
It's bedtime."
Yes. Some people have different bedtimes to us.
Yeah, that's weird.
I know. People. I just don't think it's very sensible.
The rest of you, by the way, FYI, see Vinale sort of talking to himself a little bit under his breath. You obviously don't see what he's seeing, but you sort of notice him like occasionally look away and just like mumble a little bit under his breath.
Are you okay?
Why, yes, I do think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
2 gold.
Are you okay? You were,
I'm
to yourself there?
Cyan. Yes, I am fine.
Oh,
I'm
good.
going to bed. Good night. And I
Good
just
night.
kind of, without looking at them, just go right up the stairs to my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed too.
I think I'll also be hitting the hay. Good night, Cascus. Go.
Yes, yes.
Good
yes.
night. Maybe I'd try some of your vials tomorrow.
Oh, don't worry, we've got plenty of time for that, my friend.
I look forward to it.
I suppose we should also head off. What a strange group of people. Hmm? If there was any other way, we could do this just the two of us. I would probably be up for that, but it sounds like we do not have much choice.
Yes, Cascus. Why did we not just sign contract and get on with work? Why 2 days? What we waiting for?
Well, do you remember the time we were in Barroom?
Which one was that?
Big city. Yeah, do not worry, big city. We were in big city. Hmm?
Yes.
And we were there on job, and immediately we get there, we go on job, and we end up going to just jail for a little bit. Easy if we went there a little bit, we got our bearings, we understood who we were working with, what we were working against. We would probably avoid the jail. That is why we do not sign contracts immediately. Hmm?
Yeah.
That is why I'm interested in Don Marine. You want to know who is powerful, you want to play by the rules. If you understand the rules, you can bend the rules.
Jail is not so bad. Here seems punishment may be worse.
That is very true. And I do not want to have my head ended up dangling from some cage like some low commoner.
Yes, Ugo likes space around neck. Rope seem uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. He's kind of like going into thought for a second. We go to bed, hmm? You have your own room tonight. It's a luxury.
Yes, we will see what size bed is.
Well,
bed on ship. Ship beds. No. I will be glad to have a actual bed.
Well, it is obviously all my doing. I went to barkeep and asked very specifically beforehand if you could have your own bedroom. He wanted to put us both in the same one. You would have to go on floor.
I can move bed into your room if you want.
Oh no,
if
no,
you're
no,
more
no,
comfortable.
no, it's okay.
Like old
it's
times.
Okay. It is okay. I know you like to you like to do the snore noise. Hmm? You know,
Well,
big loud noise in sleep.
Ugo has never heard Ugo snore.
Yeah, trust me, I have.
Of course I trust you.
All right, so you go up to your rooms. Everyone settling down for the night. During the night, you sort of hear the sounds of the sea wind blowing. Hanira, as you manage to fall to sleep, you dream of home. You dream of your family, your mother, your brother Simeon, and you dream about the circumstances that led you to leave. As you're walking in this dream alongside one of the beaches, or sort of maybe like a riverside, you sort of stop and look down at the river, and you notice that the entire river is black, and it doesn't seem to be flowing. What do you do?
Put my finger in it.
As you sort of touch it, you notice that it's not made of water at all. There seems to be thousands, millions even, of tiny little black beads where the water line was once. And you sort of strangely obviously notice it. They're cold to the touch. They're sort of like marbles, maybe not more than a couple of centimeters in diameter.
Okay.
As you're sort of looking at that, you notice that all around you, there seems to be this, like, where the sun was once shining, the sun seems to have been starting to set. And you see in the distance a sort of dark cloud approaching. The water itself, as you're still sort of, well, the sort of beads, as you're running your hand through them and picking them up, suddenly a hand comes out and grabs your arm and tries to pull you into the water. Make a can you make athletics check for me, please? Failing, typical of a dream. Failing to sort of right yourself. This hand, it seems to be like skinny and long, almost 2 meters long, coming out of the water, almost like bony, but with like a dark sort of leathery skin on it. Very like sort of bony, wiry knuckles on the hand, sort of come out and wraps itself around your hand and just pulls you into the sort of beady water. As you are fighting to stay above and to not like have all the beads cover your face and drown you effectively, you see that the clouds above are getting darker and darker and darker, and just before the beads cover your eyes, you notice that this gloom, this sort of dusk has set on the land you once called home, as you're being pulled deeper and deeper into the water. Eventually, the rest of the night takes you, and you fall asleep and wake up the next day. But we'll get there next session. So there we are. This is it for session 1.
This is fun.
Woo.
All right, cool. Well, thank you all for coming to this first session, and for people watching at home. Right, do you want to end the stream, Richard? Thanks for playing, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
So, yeah, see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Blitz.
Sicker.
Bye.
Blitz.
I don't trust any of the
What does that
NPCs.
mean? I'm not sure. All right, anyway. Bye.